Hey everyone, have you ever finished a meal, something you've enjoyed 1,000 times before, and then it hits you? That uncomfortable bloating, that feeling of fullness that just won't seem to go away, or maybe it's just frustrating constipation that's become a new, unwelcome part of your life. If you're nodding your head right now, please know you are not alone. So many people over 50 and 60 feel this way. They find that foods they once loved now seem to upset their stomach, and it can be really confusing and disheartening. Well, today we're going to clear up that confusion. We're going to talk about why this happens and pinpoint the specific types of foods that can harm your gut after 60. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look out for on your plate, and more importantly, you'll have simple, actionable steps to help your gut feel so much better. Just a quick note. All the information I'm sharing today is referenced from reputable sources, and I'll have the links to those for you in the description below. All right, let's get into it. First up, let's tackle the biggest question. Why is this even happening? You might be thinking, I've eaten this way my whole life. Why is it a problem now? Well, the truth is it's not just in your head. Our bodies genuinely change as we age, and our gut is no exception. Starting around age 50 or so, our stomachs often begin to produce less acid and fewer of those important digestive enzymes. Think of these as the workers on an assembly line. When you have fewer workers, the whole line slows down. At the same time, the muscles in our intestines that are responsible for pushing food along can get a little weaker, so you've got less power pushing the food and fewer resources to break it down. What this means for you is that food literally moves more slowly through your gut. Because it's hanging around in your colon for longer, more water gets absorbed out of it, which can make stools drier and harder to pass. And that's a classic recipe for constipation. All that lingering, undigested food can also get fermented by your gut bacteria, which is what produces all that extra gas and bloating. It's a natural biological process. So the first step is just to understand that this is a normal part of aging, and we just need to learn how to work with our bodies, not against them. And that leads me to my next point, which is probably the most overlooked one when it comes to gut issues later in life. Let's talk about dairy. This reminds me of a woman I know. Let's call her Sarah. For her entire life, her favorite evening ritual was a small bowl of ice cream. But recently, she noticed that within an hour she'd feel gassy and bloated. She thought maybe the brand had changed its formula, but the actual issue was that her body had changed. You see, many people over 60 start to lose the specific enzyme needed to digest lactose, which is the sugar found in milk products like milk, ice cream, and soft cheeses. This is called becoming lactose intolerant, and it's incredibly common for it to develop later in life, even if you've never had a problem with dairy before. When your body can't break down that lactose, it often leads directly to gas, bloating, or even diarrhea. But here's the good news. You don't necessarily have to give up all dairy. The key is to get specific. Hard cheeses and yogurt that contains live cultures are often much easier on the stomach. So for Sarah, instead of her nightly ice cream, she switched to a lovely bowl of Greek yogurt with some fresh berries. She still got that creamy, satisfying treat, but without all the uncomfortable side effects. You can also look for lactose-free milk or other dairy alternatives in the grocery store. But what if you're avoiding dairy and still feeling that fiery heartburn after meals? Well, the third point is designed specifically to address that. Let's talk about greasy, spicy, and acidic foods. Think about a classic comfort meal. Maybe it's a plate of French fries with a burger or some delicious fried chicken. These greasy and fatty foods take a lot longer for your body to digest. Your gut has to work overtime to break down all that fat, and for many seniors, this extra workload leads directly to indigestion or heartburn. It's a similar story with very spicy or acidic foods. I'm talking about things like hot peppers, chili, citrus fruits, and even tomato sauces. As we get older, the valves in our upper digestive tract can weaken a bit. This makes it easier for stomach acid to splash back up, which is what causes that painful burning sensation we call acid reflux or heartburn. So that big plate of pasta with a rich acidic tomato sauce might be a trigger for you now, even if it wasn't 10 years ago. The solution here isn't about bland, boring food. It's about moderation and observation. you can try having a smaller portion of that pasta and maybe not right before you lie down for the night. You can also start keeping a little food journal. Just jot down what you ate and how you felt afterward. Over time, you'll start to see patterns, and you can identify your personal trigger foods and adjust your diet accordingly. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share next can make a huge difference, and it involves some foods you probably think of as being super healthy. All right, our fourth point is about a group of foods that are fantastic for you, but can be a bit of a double-edged sword for an aging gut: beans and cruciferous vegetables. This includes things like lentils, broccoli, cabbage, and of course, beans. We all know these are packed with nutrients, but they also contain complex sugars and a lot of fiber that can be tough to break down. As we've discussed, our gut microbiome, that's the community of bacteria living in our digestive system, also shifts as we age. With this new bacterial balance, these complex sugars and fibers are more likely to ferment, which, you guessed it, often causes a lot of extra gas and bloating. It's one of the most common culprits for feeling gassy. So, does this mean you have to stop eating these incredibly healthy foods? Absolutely not. The key is in the preparation and the portion size. The advice from experts is to try lightly cooking these vegetables instead of eating them raw. Steaming broccoli, for instance, makes it much easier to digest. And when it comes to beans and lentils, just start with smaller portions. Don't have a giant bowl of bean chili all at once. Have a small cup, see how you feel, and let your system adjust. Now, if all of this information feels like a lot to remember, I want you to just focus on this next point. It's a quick win, one extremely simple, easy thing you can do today to get immediate relief. And that is simply to drink more water. I know. It sounds almost too simple to be true, but it is one of the most effective things you can do for your gut health, especially if you struggle with constipation. Remember how we talked about food moving slower through your colon, allowing more water to be absorbed? This is what leads to hard, dry stools that are difficult to pass. Good hydration is the direct antidote to this. When you drink enough fluids, it helps to soften your stools and prevent constipation. The goal to aim for is about 6 to 8 cups of fluids a day, and it's best if most of that is plain water. If you find plain water a bit boring, you can absolutely spice it up. Try adding a slice of lemon or some cucumber, sip on some gentle herbal tea, or enjoy broth-based soups. Making hydration a priority is a small change that offers a huge payoff for your digestive comfort. So we've covered some specific foods to watch out for, and the importance of hydration. But my final point today is about how you eat, which can be just as important as what you eat. Let's talk about meal size and movement. Instead of sitting down to 3 large meals a day, try eating 4 or 5 smaller portions spread throughout the day. Think about it. A huge meal is like giving your digestive system a massive project to complete all at once. It's a heavy workload. But smaller, more frequent meals lighten that load, which can significantly reduce issues like heartburn and bloating. This doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as having a smaller lunch and then enjoying a gentle snack in the afternoon, like yogurt with some fruit or a piece of whole grain toast with a little nut butter. This strategy keeps your energy level stable without ever overwhelming your system. And the other piece of this puzzle is gentle exercise. You don't need to go run a marathon. Something as simple as a short, leisurely walk after a meal can help stimulate your intestines and keep things moving along smoothly. Even light activities like walking or chair exercises can be incredibly effective at keeping your digestion regular and reducing constipation. It's about gently encouraging your body's natural rhythm. So let's quickly wrap this up. The most important thing to remember is that it's completely normal for your digestion to change as you get older. It slows down, and that's okay. Second, be mindful of common triggers. For many, this includes dairy products, fried or fatty foods, super spicy dishes, and even large amounts of gassy vegetables like broccoli and beans. And finally, simple, gentle habits can make all the difference. Focus on drinking more water, eating smaller meals throughout the day, and adding a little bit of light movement to your daily routine. These small steps will lighten the load on your gut and help you feel so much better. I hope this was helpful for you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Out of all the foods we talked about today, which one was the most surprising trigger for you? Let me know in the comments below. It's always so helpful to learn from each other's experiences. And of course, if you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on how to feel your best at every age. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.